Okay, guys, we have to talk about deep research, and we have to talk about that wild press conference with Sam Altman and Masayoshi Son in Japan. There is so much in there that's not getting reported widely. So first, deep research, what is it? It is not Google's deep research, which seems to just scrape a bunch of websites pretty quickly and come back and give you a summary. It was already very good. It's not DeepSeek, which is, of course, the big model that has shaken the markets. It is a separate product that OpenAI released, currently on the Pro plan, although apparently it's going to go all the way down to free very shortly. And it is the first one to use the full O3 model. This is not O3 Mini. I feel like so much of my time on this channel is explaining their names. This is the full O3, and that means that it is smarter than O3 Mini, which I suppose does make sense. And what you do is you ask it a complicated question. Maybe you're asking it about legal cases. Maybe you're asking it about a scientific question or a mathematics question or a history question, something that would take you a few hours to dig into and understand. You could ask about the evolution of Sanskrit, for example. And it will go and it will look very carefully for up to 30 minutes across everything it can find on the web. And it will come back and it will write you a full paper with accurate citations. Now, you might be thinking that's a whole lot like the identically named product that Google put out. And the basic requirement functionality is, but the results are much higher quality. So yes, just like deep research for Google, it goes out and browses the web, it comes back, it writes a report, it cites things. But the results are much better. I'm going to be putting up a Substack later today that talks about sort of a side-by-side comparison of what it looks like. Now, that's deep research. It just came out on the Pro tier. The press conference where deep research was released took place in Japan, and there's a reason for that. Masayoshi Son, who is the chairman of SoftBank, which is a major funder for tech companies, pulled Sam Altman over to Japan because he's discussing a major funding deal for OpenAI, separate from Stargate, which he's also involved in. And he had some interesting requirements from Sam, which Sam agreed to, that I think are really fascinating. It shows that the people involved think that OpenAI is close enough to artificial general intelligence that it's time to make plans. And so right from the stage, Masayoshi Son said, we are going to announce artificial general intelligence right back here in Japan in less than 2 years. And Sam agreed. And so they've picked the place where they will announce AGI. I also do not know what that will mean for OpenAI's relationship with Microsoft. I guess that's for other people to figure out. And then they also shared, Sam and Masayoshi Son also shared, that there will be a special company, sort of a fork of OpenAI, if you will, established in Japan that will focus specifically on a special model for Japanese companies called Crystal. And that model is supposed to independently review all of your source code and optimize it. So it will be located inside a particular company's firewall. It will review and update and maintain source code. It will apparently listen to calls. It sort of sounds like they're describing a deity, right? Which is kind of weird. But they're going to sort of build this thing called Crystal, and it will do all of these magical things inside the company. And apparently that will also happen very quickly. And that benefit will be exclusively, according to Sam, for Japanese companies initially. And I think that is also, again, part of the implicit deal. I think what's going on here is that SoftBank wants a legacy opportunity here. They want to show they brought AGI to Japan, and they don't want it to be something where they just invested in a US company and the US company was the one that did, this amazing humanity-changing achievement called artificial general intelligence. By the way, my hand's coming in and out because I'm in a weird place and I have to have an artificial background. So it gets weirder. Like, you might think a model named Crystal that lives in your company and listens to your phone calls and does your source code is weird. And it is. It feels a little strange. But it gets odder because then during the press conference, I am not making this up, Masayoshi Son told Sam Altman that it was good that I can't believe I'm going to say this, that it was good that AI won't be eating people because AI doesn't need protein as a source of energy. And he said that right out loud at the press conference. And I don't even know what to make of that. And I don't think Sam really knew what to make of that either. It's very strange. So for lack of a better term, I think the traditional term for this would be an eccentric billionaire has decided to fund AI. His legacy will be that AI, artificial general intelligence, is announced in Japan. That apparently is a done deal now. Apparently it's less than 2 years away. And in the meanwhile, we have this tool called Deep Research that frankly does the work of a graduate intern on the research side of things. Now, Sam made a big claim. Sam said this does a single-digit percentage of the economically valuable work in the world. I can think of a few times when I have needed graduate level research work done, but not a ton. And I don't know if I would agree it's a single-digit percentage. That doesn't take away from the value of the tool. It's a very valuable tool if you ask the right questions and you need the right questions answered. Most white-collar workers do not need this level of research done for them on a regular basis. They have other things that they have to do, but research at this level is not one of them. For people in science, for people in academia, it is a different thing. This is a big deal. So take it for what you like. Deep Research happened over the weekend. And I didn't even tell you, oh my God. So Humanity's Last Exam, which is, I think, going to turn out to be a terrible name for this thing, is an exam that was supposed to be very hard for AI to crush. And we all know how this goes because this happened so many times before. O1 was at, I think, around 9%, and then R1 came in. And now that they've seen the Humanity's Last Exam, they are sort of tuning to it. And so R1 did a little bit better, but not much, like at like 10% or so, 11. And then O3 Mini High came in and it was at 13%. And that was on Friday. By the way, that was just Friday. And then Sunday came along, and I guess it was Monday morning Japan time. And lo and behold, this thing, Deep Research, it gets to 25% on Humanity's Last Exam. So in 2 days, the new high was set from 13% by O3 Mini High to 25% by full O3 using Deep Research mode. There you go. I don't know. Maybe it'll be 50% by Tuesday. We'll see. It's a wild time we live in. Cheers.